He didn't mean to flinch, but sometimes the sting comes after the silence. Hi, and welcome to this Podfic recording of Whispers of the Wild, written and read by me, DreamerAxie. This is a Percy Jackson fanfic about what happens when change comes from the inside out. This chapter contains themes of emotional withdrawal, instinctive protectiveness, and discomfort with change. Please listen with care and take breaks if you need to. You're about to listen to Chapter 5, The Quiet Sting. Let's begin. Will sat hunched on the infirmary steps, the warm midday sun brushing over his shoulders, but the weight in his chest wouldn't budge. His beanie lay crumpled beside him, briefly discarded in a desperate attempt to breathe. The air still felt thick. His ears, soft, golden furred things that hadn't been there days ago, twitched every time someone passed too close or a bird called overhead. He hated how aware he was of everything now. He ran a trembling hand through his hair, or tried to. His fingers met the velvety curve of one ear and jerked away like he touched a live wire. He clenched his jaw. Nico hadn't meant to scare him. He knew that, but the sound, that low, guttural growl, had set something off deep in Will's chest, something primal and terrified. He'd backed away before he even realized it. And Nico had looked so shattered. Will had sat there ever since, not going back inside, not looking for him, just frozen. The door creaked open. Will's hand scrambled for the beanie, heart lurching. He tugged it over his ears a split second before Kayla stepped out, arms crossed, expression cautious. She paused, eyes flicking to the slight shake in his fingers. "You okay?" she asked gently. Will huffed out a bitter laugh. "Yeah, peachy. Got growled at by my boyfriend like I was intruding on his hunting ground. But you know, normal Tuesday." Kayla raised an eyebrow. "So we're going with sarcasm today? Do you want a medical chart or a poem?" he muttered. "I want to know if you're hurt." Will looked down at his hands, still steady, still glowing faintly gold in the sunlight. "No. Not physically." Kayla nodded like she'd expected that. "He's not a monster, Will." "I know that," Will snapped. Too sharp, too quick. He caught himself, exhaled. "I know, I saw something in him I didn't recognize, and I think it scared him more than it scared me." Kayla was quiet for a long time. Then, gently, "So maybe go find him. Let him know that." Will hesitated. "I think he needs space." "I think he needs you," she said, "even if he doesn't say it right now." He didn't answer, but he stood. The sun was still warm, but the cold inside him didn't fade. Not yet. Still, he started walking. He spotted Nico not too long after, sitting beside Leo, heads tilted together like they were swapping secrets. Logically, Will knew they were just friends, knew that Nico was his, that he had chosen him over and over, but logic didn't stop the sharp, hot sting that flared in his chest. It wasn't jealousy, not really. It was something deeper, something more primal, a protective instinct that didn't belong to just Will, the healer, but to the something other that had been clawing its way up since the ears sprouted from his head. His senses sharpened. Ears twitched slightly beneath his beanie before he realized and yanked it tighter over his head. He ducked instinctively behind a tree, just as Kayla emerged from the infirmary. She glanced around, then went the other way, thankfully missing him entirely. Will let out a slow breath and pressed his hand to his chest. His heartbeat felt uneven, loud. His skin was buzzing. Why didn't Nico come to me? Why Leo? The questions weren't fair. He knew that, but knowing didn't stop them from sinking in like teeth. Didn't stop the overwhelming wave of mine that bubbled up in his throat at the sight of someone else getting close. He squeezed his eyes shut, dragging in a shaky breath. That wasn't him. He didn't get like this. jealous, possessive, unhinged. And yet, the sensation was hard to shake. The way Nico's shadows curled close around Leo, the way Leo didn't flinch. Will's fingers trembled as he readjusted the beanie again, making sure his ears were hidden. His head was starting to throb from keeping them pinned down. He didn't know how much longer he could hold it in. Thank you for listening to Chapter 5 of Whispers of the Wild. This is Book 1 of the Wildcurse Chronicles, a long-form project from the DreamerAxie library. Every chapter adds a new ripple to this Wildcurse, and this one stings quietly in the spaces between words. If this story found you in a moment of stillness or struggle, I hope it reminded you that even the softest fears can be seen and survived. This story was written with care, and maybe, just maybe, it finds you when you need it most. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. See you in the wilds.